My wife and I went to see a movie today. We saw Nuremberg. And I've got to tell you, it was an absolutely fabulous movie. Well acted, well written, well directed. And I honestly believe that everybody in this country should see that movie. But not for entertainment purposes, for informational purposes. Because what took me aback as I'm watching this movie is the parallels between the Germans of the 30s and 40s to the Republicans of today. I mean, it was uncanny. It was frightening to see that. I've heard people make those comparisons before, but what the hell? You watch this movie and you understand what happened back then. You can see how it got started by what we're seeing out of the Republicans today. The main guy in the Nuremberg trials was a guy by the name of Hermann Goring. Now, Hermann Goring was the number two man behind the Mustache Man. By this time, the Mustache Man had allegedly ended his life. So Hermann Goring is the focus. A psychiatrist spent a lot of time with him and discovered that this guy, oddly enough, was a narcissist. He was a narcissist that would lie, cheat, steal, was evil at his core. Isn't it interesting how that is in line with our own president today, Donald Trump? The big difference between him and Donald Trump is Hermann Goring was actually brilliant. He was very good at what he did, even though he was evil. Donald Trump is that kind of evil, but he's stupid on top of it. And for that, we should be thankful, because if he had half a brain, we'd be in much deeper trouble. But it's important to understand what happened then so we can figure out how to adjust for today. It's funny, the psychiatrist who was talking to Goring was going to write a book, wrote a book about his whole experience talking to him. And when he was interviewed about the book, he made a statement that basically sunk his book. And what he said was that as bad as it was in Germany, we've got those kinds of people here, and we are not that far from getting a similar situation in America. Well, back in those days, maybe the 50s, people said, you can't talk bad about America. That's not true. That would never happen. Himself, he ended up unaliving himself years later. But it's interesting. What he said ends up in 2025 to be absolutely true. There are people in this country just like those people in Germany. And we have to be careful and we have to fight against them at every fucking turn.